Let's bring up Miss KatieRose Moreno.
Okay. Yeah, I'm KatieRose, and I'm a warrior. I like germs. They really bother me. He spits all over the mic. Well, folks, first thing I want to say is thanks to Erica for putting this together. She does a fantastic job. Just love her. She goes to so much work. One thing I want to do is, you folks know that Phyllis Diller passed away this last week, and I want to dedicate part of what I do to her because she was my inspiration. Last year I actually got up on the stage and tried to do this, so. But one thing that she does is she talks about her husband, Fang. Well, I talk about my husband, Babu. Now, Babu has a severe case of ED. Let me explain that. He gets up at night to go get a drink of water. This is a small apartment. 15 minutes later, I'm going, Babu, where are you? Well, here's what happened. As he got up to get the glass of water, he went into the kitchen, and as he was going there, he noticed that the computer was still on. So he went in to shut it off. But there was an email on the computer, so he had to sit down, read the email, and then answer it. Then he gets up, turns off the lights, trips over a chair, stumbles around, and I hear him, and then he goes in and he fills up a glass of water. Now, the running water man reminded me he had to go pee. Then he goes to the bathroom, comes out, gets another glass of water, and as he's walking back to the bedroom with it, he sees that the rug's not straight. So he bends over, forgetting he's got a glass of water in his hand, to straighten the rug. Now he's got to go find a towel to clean up all the water. He hangs the towel up, comes into the bedroom, and he's standing there looking at me. He goes, what am I doing? ED, easily distracted. He also has OCB, orderly compulsive behavior. That's also known as anal retentive. If he goes into a store and the things aren't in order on the end displays, he has to straighten them all. One day we went in and the bananas weren't straight. And I picked up a nice batch of bananas and put them in the cart and looked over and I said, he's been 10 minutes looking for bananas. I said, honey, I got the bananas. He says, I'm straightening them, they're not in a row. And all the people were standing there watching him. They thought he worked there. So I pulled him away. Now, whenever we go shopping to Costco or the warehouses, we usually wear the same shirts. And I sometimes have to put a name tag on him so I can find him. He wanders off. Well, one day we went into the store, and it's hard to not be with him when we look alike. But we went into the store, and we got one of the wagons, and it was a brand new wagon, so the cart wouldn't go down, so I had to struggle with it. And he looked at it, and he goes, look, it's only a quarter of an inch off. I can fix that. Oh, please, no, we're only 10 feet from the door. We don't need to fix it, I got it down. No, it's a quarter of an inch off, so I'm going to fix it. I walk away. And I turn around, and there he is, cart's on the floor, on its side, he's jumping up and down on it. And I'm going, oh, Lord. And then he picks it up and says, look, honey, I fixed it. And it's really hard to ignore him when I look like him. Yeah, he does. I tell you, I worry I'll get back to him in a little bit. Looking for a job now for over a year. But you know, they don't even look at these resumes or the applications you put in. I sent in so many resumes and applications, my computer exploded last week. Spent a week at the Genius Bar. But one of the things I don't understand is why do they need my marital status? Divorced. Does that mean you're not going to be here very long? Well, maybe 25 years, and I'm going to be seeing other employers while I'm here. And the other thing they put is, have you ever been convicted of a felon? And if so, explain. And they give you this little bitty box at the bottom, 3 words, not my fault. Now, I did get a job interview not too long ago. I went in, it was for a part-time temporary job, minimum wage. And I thought I'd try something. And I went in and there was one haole man and 3 local women. So I thought, well, at least I got a chance. There's one haole in here. And they sit down and they get out their notebooks and pads and pencil. You'd think I was interviewing for a CEO position. Well, the regular questions, you know, what's your name? I gave them my name, Katie Rose. And they said, do you live here? No, I came from Washington, D.C. to interview for a part-time temporary job at minimum wage. Come on. And then the inevitable question. What do you plan to be in 5 years? Not here. Part-time, temporary. Remember, folks? Oh, and then the rejection letters you get. We thought you were overqualified and you would be bored at this job. Overqualified, yeah, I can read. Bored, if you can breathe, you're bored. I did take a job not too long ago. It was selling security systems. And it was knocking door to door. Okay, that's a bit much for someone of my age. But here's the spiel. Is you go up and you knock on the door. If someone answers, you ask if they're the homeowner. And then you say, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just here to see if you would put this sign in your yard. That way you can help us advertise our product. And they smile and he said, sure, go ahead. Click. Slam the door. Now I got to knock on the door again, get them to open it and say, well, if we put the sign on the yard, then we need to install the security system, and there's only a small monthly fee for that. But I'm not trying to sell you anything. Yeah, that's not working too good. I worry, and one of my worries is prescription drugs. And if you've ever noticed, when you get a prescription drug, they give you these little flyers with them. Okay? Now, can you guys read that normally? And this is in English on both sides. Okay? So what I've done is I put on my glasses. I still can't see it. Get out the magnifying glass. We should be able to read it. And it's got these big words in here. Nobody can even pronounce them. Now this one was just one for some tropical cream that I had to use. Then I went down to get a shot. What's on this? What's it going to do to you guys? I swear, my kids are going to come find me in a rocking chair with a prescription in one hand, a medical dictionary in the other hand, and then I'm going to be on hold with the pharmacist because they said call if you have any questions. And I'm waiting for him to tell me, what do these big words mean? And what are the side effects? And it's going to do what to me? I have another idea for one of the prescriptions that some men use. Roll it up, cover it with KY jelly, and hum.
Amazing how that got the biggest laugh.
You know, one thing that's funny is, I did take a job recently. Well, I got a job. I became a Mary Kay consultant and instructor. And what I do is I give free facials. And one day I went over to give a free facial to a lady, and after taking like 6 or 7 layers off of her face, you know, putty night time, okay, and then I put moisturizer on her face. Now with Mary Kay, you only need a little bit of moisturizer, so we put it on her face and you could hear her go, had to put more. And finally I got done just before her husband came home, and when her husband came home, he said, well, where's my wife? I thought she was here. And I said, well, she's right here, doesn't she look lovely? And he looks at her and he goes, it's a miracle! The doctor said he'll be out of the hospital next week. Now, children are a lot of fun. Don't back up. I like to use my products, you'll have to try them out. I like to use them on live, willing people. Well, Babu is my live person.
Ah,
And one day he was taking a nap, so I got the gel mask and put it on him so it would make him look nice. And then when he woke up, he goes, "What happened to my face?" And I said, "Well, it's much younger and firmer. I wonder if I could use that on."
that's great.
He never takes a nap anymore. You know, I have 13 grandchildren, and one of my granddaughters was about 10 years old. She went into her mom and said, "Mom, where did I come from?" And the mom was, "Oh dear, the talk. Well, dear, we prayed to Heavenly Father and He sent you to us." She went, "Oh, really? Well, where did you and Dad come from?" Well, same things. Our parents prayed and He sent us to them. Well, where did Grandma and Grandpa come from? Well, their parents prayed and asked for them, and they came. And she goes, "That explains it. No sex for 200 years. No wonder everybody's grumpy." Thank you. You've all been great.
She's great.